What's going on, everybody? Back with another quick video. Hey, look, I'm not even a big Yamaha fan, so let's put that out there right away. And it's not because I hate them or dislike them. I kind of always just associated Yamaha, my time coming up when I started riding motorcycles, with being the overhyped, over-sensationalized motorcycle brand at that time, around the 2004s plus, where everybody, you know, just like if you were watching Fast and the Furious, where everybody glorified like the Mitsubishi Eclipse, you know, and the Rice era of the Hondas and things like that. So I kind of always just associated hype around Yamaha as something at the time for me, which was unattainable. And kind of just the fanboyism that everybody, if you didn't have an R1 or an R6, like, you weren't really riding, bruh. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I kind of see it as. But this article kind of caught my eye in a really cool way, though, in a good way. And I'll say why. I'll say why it caught my eye in a good way. As I mentioned, two brands that to me are very, very interesting indeed. Yamaha and CFMOTO. These guys are having a joint venture company, and it's pretty freaking amazing. To me, this is big news. I don't know why I haven't really seen anybody talk about it yet. But this thing is starting actually pretty quickly. The plan, the start of this joint venture is going to be November. That's next month. Or not next month, but in an extra month from now. We're about to get into October. But starting in November 23 of this year, they're going to be starting up. And I think this is pretty crazy. CFMOTO is going to have 50% of the shares. Yamaha is putting in 44.23%. And the third company, which the rest, the 5.77%, is going to be pushed to a company called Tair, Tairye. They're getting like 5.77 the leftover shares. I think it's pretty crazy when you think about it, because this is going to be the production and sales of motorcycles. Now, CFMOTO has like busted out on the scene kind of like out of nowhere, and they're getting really, really popular. I think they're going to get even more popular when they can actually get a proper motorcycle that can compete with the Gixxer 750, and kind of like that Ducati Super Sport, kind of like that 750 to just right under sub 999 cc engine. If they can get some interesting things in there with the great price point, it's really going to take off. And I think what they're doing right now is they're actually playing the cards right, and that's possibly because of this merger, that they didn't spill too many beans. I know I was kind of disappointed when they kind of did some release stuff on their new upcoming lineups that are going to be coming out soon. I was a little disappointed because I was really hoping that I wanted to see a leader bike from them and what that was going to look like. How it was going to perform, because when they do release something like that, it's really going to shake up the entire space, right? So, like I said, CFMOTO has been in the game for a long time, since like 2002, 2003 or something like that. So I think, you know, with their market popularity, this merger to me is a win-win for both companies. Simply, Yamaha, being an established giant in the motorcycle industry, are putting their business savvy. They're smart. They're putting their business savvy with CFMOTO. And the only thing I can really think of in terms of what Yamaha can really get out of this deal is way cheaper production. And it's going to cut down on their production cost tremendously by merging with CFMOTO. I'm getting like Scion, vibes. You know, BRZ Toyota. I'm getting those kind of vibes because, you know, we've seen it and it works. It can work very, very well. I think, like I said, Yamaha's going to get a big cut on their products, on their cost of production by working with CFMOTO. And in turn, I think that they will be able to not only cut down on their production costs, but they'll also be able to get, you know, a little bit better insight on how to make their product a little more cutting edge. On the flip side, CFMOTO, I think, stands to gain the most out of the deal because they're going to get the absolute solidarity and absolute, what you call it, almost the bulletproof nature of having Yamaha come in and help them build their product even better. The reliability is what I'm looking for. Having that reliability of a big giant like Yamaha behind your brand in general is priceless. Because think about it. Let's just say they put out a new, like, this new venture company is going to be, I don't know, let's call it X-Type. All the X-Type vehicles that are going to be sold can be completely new ideas. Like when you think of like Honda, you think of their luxury line, you think of what, Acura, right? This could be Yamaha and CFMOTO's luxury type brand to compete. What I think is going to compete a lot with the Italians. I think you're going to see. I think of like R1M. What would be the CFMOTO almost equivalent that they could put out? It'd be like an R1 or something, like, right? But when they merge them together, I think they can put out some really cool things. And not only that, even if they didn't put out a new brand line or whatever, you're going to see the technology working on both sides. You're going to see the costs of the Yamahas go down. And that's going to make their vehicles more obtainable for people who want to get in to their motorcycles, especially their leader bikes. It's gonna make that production cost go down, so it's gonna make it more affordable for consumers. CFMOTO, it's gonna make their brand more coveted. It's gonna make their brand more lucrative for people to be like, okay, now I'm not on the fence anymore about joining this, about buying this Chinese bike. They got Yamaha behind them. They're bulletproof. They're gonna jump in. You know what I mean? You're gonna be less. I would say, less likely to double dutch into CFMOTO. And I know I definitely would if that's what they did, because Yamaha is a big brand. And I'm telling you, man, have the reliability of Yamaha on your side, and their, a little bit of their tech. We're talking about big things. I mean, this could be something to where, I don't see Yamaha ever adopting anybody else's engine per se. I would see it the other way around. But for the thing, what I will say is that I could see CFMOTO, like I said, learning and adopting so many things that Yamaha has gotten right, incorporating it into their own plans of how they're trying to exist in this space. So I think it's gonna be amazing, man. I don't know what's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be crazy to find out exactly what happens with this, but I'm telling you, man, CFMOTO stock is about to go up, and what's really gonna be crazy is that I wonder how this merger is going to reflect in CFMOTO's new motorcycles in the future, within the next 2 years. How's that going to affect their price value in the market, especially when it comes to their competitor, which is going to be a competitor, Yamaha? Is this going to be something where Yamaha is this that's why I'm really confused. I'm like, is this merger going to be more of a CFMOTO is going to just produce under the CFMOTO brand? Are they just going to continue to produce like the lower tier bikes, anything below like 650 and below, and try to dominate that market? And is this going to be, this merger company, is it going to be their way of being able to introduce a more thorough, more well thought out, more reliably backed, expensive, slight sub liter bike competitor? You know what I'm saying? Like, is this going to be their way to introduce that to the motorcycle community? It's very possible. I think that they'll have a better chance with this merger with Yamaha to be able to put out a liter bike with all of the tech that you can possibly think of that is on a Yamaha. And Yamaha doesn't necessarily have to be worried about putting their name on something when they have basically 44 or 45% of the company. So it's not like they would be losing by collaborating and putting out a Superbike, a super sport that's, you know, not necessarily branded Yamaha all the way. So they still win, and CFMOTO still wins, and because it's a joint venture, they both still win, and then they can both use that revenue to go back and create better stuff under their own brand. So, you know, I think it's going to be crazy, and I think this is probably what we're going to end up seeing. We're probably going to see a new competitor pop in under a new name, under Yamaha and CF. Anyways, I'm done fanboying. Tell me what you think. Let me know what you think, how this is going to go, what you see coming out of it. If this is something that you're actually looking forward to seeing how this plays out, because I am.